You can and should revisit your automations to look for ways to deliver even better experiences and, as a result, better results for you. That's where performance mode steps in. It's the ultimate reporting tool that shows you where your results are coming from and where to focus your efforts. In this video, I'm going to cover the performance mode basics, and we're going to take a tour of the 6 different reports available in performance mode. Let's get started. Each of the 6 different performance mode reports gives you a different view of how well your automation is working. We'll go through all of them in a second, but first a couple of things about performance mode in general. First, one of the coolest things here is that you can click on any of the numbers you see in these reports and you'll be taken to a collection of those contacts, which is really handy. Sometimes you'll want to be able to send a quick broadcast email to a specific group of people at a specific spot in your automation, or redirect that group to an entirely different automation. It's also important to know that these numbers you see in all of these reports are for unique contacts. So that means that if the same contact runs through your automation twice, they're only going to appear once in the data. Let's take a peek at your date range. By default, it's set to 30 days, which means that only contacts who were added to this map in the last 30 days will be reflected in the stats. To see more data, we can reset the time window. The numbers will recalculate, showing you the data for the contacts that were added during your newly selected time frame. Now let's dive into the 6 reports. Contact flow is the first performance mode report, and it's the most obvious one. It shows how your contacts have flowed through the automation in the past and where they are now. As you look at the contact flow report, you'll see a bunch of numbers on various elements. Here's what they mean. Contacts were here refers to the total number of contacts who visited a particular element but are not there now. Contacts here now refers to the total number of contacts who are currently sitting on an element. You'll notice that no contact sits on a filter or action element, and that's because those happen instantly. So on those elements, you'll see people were here because that contact is automatically moved on to the next element. But you'll see the contacts are here now on wait elements, end elements, and add to automation elements. Contacts conversion rate is a percentage of contacts on the map who achieved a certain goal. If you have a pages visited trigger, you'll see these 2 stats. Were here is the number of contacts in your account who actually got added to the trigger, while total visitors includes all page visitors, even from anonymous visitors who aren't on this automation. Be aware of this button on email elements that'll show you the stats for that particular email. This includes the number of sends, opens, clicks, and opt-outs an email message has received, so you have a sense of how well that message is performing overall. Now let's move on to the second report in performance mode, and that's the funnel conversion report. Funnel conversion shows how effectively your contacts are moving from one goal to another by giving you the percentage of people who reach that goal after starting at a selected trigger. For example, if your trigger is a completed lead capture form, and your first goal is an ebook download, and your second goal is a demo request, and your third goal is a product purchase, this report will show you the conversion rate from goal to goal. This can be really interesting when you have more than one trigger on your map. For example, maybe you have 3 different ebooks and a trigger for each one at the top of your map. By looking at the funnel conversion report and clicking each of the triggers one by one, you'll see which of your ebooks is driving the most conversions to a sale. The third performance mode report is lifetime value, and here you'll see an average and total amount of money being spent among contacts as they move through your automation. This stat is particularly useful to advertisers who want to know how long it takes them to earn back money they spent on ads. By showing the average amount spent over time as your contacts move through your process, you can get a sense of both how long it takes to make a sale and to get your ad dollars paid back. Fourth, we have the goal conversion rate report, which refers to the likelihood of a contact achieving a selected goal based on past activity. For example, if your goal is a product purchase, you'll be able to see how likely a contact is to eventually buy your product based on where they are on your map. This insight allows you to see, for instance, that people who downloaded an ebook are maybe 7% likely to buy. But if they go through a demo with your team, that number jumps to 31%. This might inspire you to invest more time in encouraging leads to go through that demo process to convert to more sales. Fifth is the goal conversion time report, and this shows you how long it takes for contacts to achieve a goal at each step. Time to conversion is an important metric for advertisers because, again, you're always looking for ways to decrease the time it takes to earn back your advertising dollars. By clicking on a goal in this report, you're able to see the average time between a contact arriving at each step and the achievement of your selected goal. Let's say you have 3 different landing pages with 3 different ebooks at the top of your automation, and you have a goal to track the purchase of your product down below. By selecting the goal conversion time report and clicking on your purchase goal, you might see that it takes 3 times longer for leads from one of your ebooks to buy your product than it does from the others. And that might be useful information about where you'll invest future advertising efforts. Let's move on to our 6th and final performance mode report, which is the goal conversion point. This report answers the question, which elements on my automation are driving the most or least goal conversions? It'll show you where your contacts were on the map when they achieved the selected goal. Since achieving goals means people are moved to the goal on the map, it's often useful to know where they were right before they got moved. For instance, say you have 10 emails in a sequence followed by a purchase goal. If you click on that goal in this report, you'll see how far down your follow-up sequence most users are before they buy. You'll also be able to identify which email was sent most recently before that purchase. Okay, we're not quite done yet. If you're a pro or enterprise user, you'll also see a tracking feature in performance mode. This tool allows you to filter the results you see on the map based on the lead source, which is useful for optimizing your marketing performance. We'll cover this in more detail in a future section of this course. Congratulations, we've made it through the tour of the performance mode basics, and we talked about how to use each of the 6 different reports. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to test your automations so that they're ready for prime time.